It's 2020 and there is a crazy number of phones out there vying for your attention. Well, one of the ways that OPPO thinks they can stand out from the crowd is by cramming some of the features normally found in top-tier flagship devices into the mid-range OPPO Reno4 Pro. This thing has super fast 65-watt charging, a big curved display with a 90 Hz refresh rate, and some truly impressive camera features while running on a Snapdragon 720G and 8 gigs of RAM. But is that enough to make you cheat on your Samsungs and your iPhones? Let's take a closer look, and thank OPPO for sponsoring this showcase. Handling the Reno4 Pro, it might not even be that shocking that it's packed with flagship features, because this thing does not really feel like a mid-range device at all. It's super thin and light, but not so light that it feels like there's nothing on the inside, you know, like those plastic phone mock-ups that you see at cell phone kiosks. There's a lot in there, as we've mentioned, but we'll get to that in a moment. On the back, there's a beautiful fingerprint-resistant matte finish along with a quad rear camera array. We've got 3 physical buttons total, 2 on the left side for volume and a power button on the right. There's a SIM card tray and microphone on the top, along with a single speaker, USB Type-C charging port, and headphone jack on the bottom. In these dark times, it is good to know that some brands still follow the old ways. Keep the 3.5mm dream alive, OPPO. Now for the display. Once again, it's hard to differentiate the Reno4 Pro from a flagship here. It's a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED with a 2400 by 1080 resolution and a 92.01% screen to body ratio. That's helped a bit by the 3D curved screen. Now we've seen some brands move away from the curved edge design, but for those of you who like it, this one comes with a sidebar function that you can use to pin frequently used apps. The real kicker with the display, though, is the 90 Hz refresh rate with a touch sampling rate of up to 180 Hz. That translates to not only a smoother experience scrolling through photos or social media, but also to snap your gameplay so you can tell your defeated enemies that they paid too much for their phone or whatever. Now, it's not the 120 Hz that we're seeing in some of the newest flagships, but 90 is a huge step up compared to 60, and there's really just no going back. Now, after all that snappy gameplay, obviously, you're gonna need to recharge. And that's where their 65-watt charging comes in handy. OPPO calls their flash charging tech SuperVOOC 2.0, and they say it can fully charge the Reno4 Pro from 0 to 100% in just 36 minutes. It sounds incredibly dangerous. Like, can you imagine the heat that produces? Well, okay, actually, OPPO has been developing their SuperVOOC technology since 2014. Part of the solution is to use a dual cell battery system in which 2 5-volt cells receive current in an alternating pattern, eliminating the need to reduce the voltage in order to avoid heat buildup. Pretty cool. Get it? OPPO also uses specialized chips in the charging adapter, USB cable, and the Reno4 Pro itself, which check that the voltage and current levels are within permissible limits. Now, OPPO says that with only 5 minutes of charging, you can watch YouTube for 4 hours. And while I wasn't gonna pay Riley to watch 4 hours of YouTube videos at work, we did put OPPO's charging claims to the test. Now, our model came with a North American plug adapter, but thanks to regional differences in power delivery, that's only gonna give us 50 watts of charging. But to make sure we got the full 65 watts with the Reno4 Pro's non-North American charger, we plugged it into this. It's a light fuse power converter that I actually got for a completely unrelated project, but it definitely came in handy here. So 5 minutes plugged into this monster got us to 18%. 10 minutes got us to 37%. It's basically linear at that point. At 15 minutes, we were up to 51%. Then by 20 minutes, we were at 70%. 30 minutes brought us to 94, and so on and so forth. Honestly, I didn't expect the full charge to come so on the nose, but we hit 100% at 36 minutes and 41 seconds. Like, I was wondering, why did OPPO say 36 minutes instead of like, you know, under 40? I guess it's because it's literally like 36 minutes, like exactly. Suffice to say, if phone uptime is the most important thing to you, you really can't go wrong with the Reno4 Pro. And the last thing we want to talk about is the camera. Now, modern smartphones are really taking advantage of AI-powered processing to make gorgeous looking photos, and the Reno4 Pro is expanding that idea creatively in a couple of ways. First off, you have a number of zoom options in both photo and video mode that give you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you compose your shot. And in our tests, photos and videos taken with this camera look nice and crisp with surprisingly good color and dynamic range, especially, guys, remember, this is really important, for a mid-range phone. It even gives phones that are focused on photography, like the Google Pixel line, a run for their money. But OPPO also fits in some fun AI-powered creative features, including AI Color Portrait, which lets you desaturate the background while retaining the color of the subject in the scene, something you would normally have to do in post. And this mode even works with video recording. You should see how fast Taran could do this on his station compared to the phone, his macros. I mean, maybe fast, it's got a lot of macros, but. Low light modes are also getting really good in modern phones, although you only really expect to see really strong low light in flagship phones. But the Reno4 Pro's ultra dark mode is about as good as I've seen. They've even got a specialized low light mode for selfies, appropriately titled Ultra Night Selfie Mode. So you can entertain your deepest narcissistic tendencies, even in the blackest night of the soul. Now, we didn't even talk about how OPPO's flavor of Android, called ColorOS, has come a long way and manages to add some life-enhancing features while still allowing you to basically get as close to stock Android as you want. But I think we've said enough. If you guys are interested in a mid-range phone that punches above its weight class, check out the Reno4 Pro. And thanks again to OPPO for sponsoring this showcase. If you guys enjoy more showcases like this one, why not go check out this one where I unboxed a robot vacuum.
Did it try to kill you?
No, but it did try to launch itself off the table.